Hey,
So what
hey,
we
hey,
doing?
hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Warmup. I am Feel the Heat. We have
What's your
today in the
name?
building Clutch Chris, Kev RL, and Kurt Time. Say what's up to the people.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, man? What's going on, guys?
What it do?
So what we on tonight? We on the NBA playoff edition episode.
Yes,
Another
sir.
episode of NBA coverage.
Are we
Yes,
going to do the
yes,
Let's
yes.
memoriam
start it.
first? Whoo! Shout out to the
Nah,
teams that did not make it to the playoffs this year. Woo.
but try really hard though. Phoenix Suns 8-0
8
wasn't
and 0, but
enough.
it just wasn't enough, man.
Devin
Undefeated. That's
Booker
crazy.
was like yeah. Devin Booker was like Superman, man. Like, what else could he do?
It doesn't even seem right to
He did it.
me to invite a team that could go undefeated and they don't even get a shot at the AC.
It's sad,
Mhm.
man, but it's a numbers game. Somebody else could have lost and they would have
Yeah,
made it.
yeah,
Exactly.
It wasn't that lucky.
It was like a calculus problem for me to get in, man. It was tough.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
San
San
Antonio
Antonio,
Spurs, 22 streak, 22 season streak broken of being in the playoffs. It's nuts.
You know what? I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him because Greg Popovich, man, best coach ever, and he
Mhm.
took a ragtag team, man, that didn't shoot threes and brought them on the cusp of the playoffs. So, and they went in without their best player, man. Aldridge is nursing an injury, right? And they still perform. So I'm not mad at them.
If anything, I think we should be worried because if I think about another team or I'll just say a player that's been back to back to back playoffs, I think of LeBron and having that one season when he didn't do the playoffs, he came back recharged. So
yeah.
Mm.
that might be
Think the
something to
Spurs
worry
got it
about
in them?
next season. Yeah,
They have some young guns that's playing, man.
yeah.
They got some young guns that's coming up.
Yeah.
DeRozan's still
Derek White has
balling.
his own commercial now.
I don't know about DeRozan, man. DeRozan be here and there, but he's still solid.
Yeah, he's still a
Yeah.
solid player.
Yeah.
He's not as consistent as we would like, but he has glimpses of greatness in him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Pop putting him on a power forward position, man. That kind of threw things up and freed up some young players to get some guard time, man. Pop got him under control.
Yeah, and just seeing him not handle the ball so much and just be focused purely on scoring.
Hmm.
Hey, man, y'all just realized, though, they have two All-Stars on the team. It wasn't a ragtag group of misfits. They have
Aldridge
LaMarcus
wasn't playing.
Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan.
Which we just said
Aldridge
Lamarcus
wasn't
is
playing.
injured, so
Yeah.
But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, you still have LA. And
I
honestly,
mean, but my thing.
hold on. And honestly,
He did.
the reason before the bubble even started, they were
Mhm.
what, ranked 10th, 11th, something like that.
Mm,
So they were playing poorly with
exactly.
DeMar DeRozan and Marcus Aldridge. So look, it's a good run. It's a good run.
poorly. It's the West. It's the West. I don't know about poorly because
Okay,
the difference between 10th and maybe even 7th is probably not that big.
okay, that's
I
fair.
wouldn't. I wouldn't say poorly.
But they've been historically been in that same conference, same division for 22 years. So
You right. You right.
Yeah, but they have different players coming through, and Pop is able to change his system to match up players. And you're right; they don't have a ragtag team, but it's like Pop realized I got no 3-point shooters on my team, so we're gonna have to play 1990s ball against the new era ball, and let's see what happens.
and you forgot about Rudy Gay. He's still a consistent player.
Ooh.
I like Rudy Gay.
Patty
Is he
Mills.
Is he consistent?
I think so.
He's as consistent as he's always been. Meaning he's not really gotten any better, but he hasn't really just starting to like fall off. He's still a good contributor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take that. I take
Like
that.
all his years, like he's still been doing pretty solid.
He does.
Yeah.
I don't watch San Antonio games as much, but yeah, the times I do see him, he's still doing what he can.
I mean, Rudy's
Just
giving
got
them like 10, 11 points a game, 10 to 12, so it's not bad.
when I watch, it's usually upwards of that, but I could see an average being around 10, 11.
Mhm.
All right,
But
man.
we would just be remiss to just not mention this last team, man. It's Memphis Grizzlies. Ooh,
Ooh.
they just watched that AC just slip.
Hey
Just
man,
slip.
hold on, man. Let me just start off by 'cause I knew y'all gonna go in, so let me go ahead and get what I'm gonna say,
No,
and
Who
then
in
let y'all
it?
go ahead and get
Who
no,
in.
he
in
said
it?
he,
Who in
You
he
it?
know
said
what
he
I'm
know
saying?
he said he
You
I
know
sound
we're
know,
gonna go in.
you sound
I
like you real
know,
defensive
I
right now.
know. Cause see,
No one's gonna go in, man. It's a
you
memorial
know,
service, man.
you
It's a
know,
memorial
It's
they
service. It's
just
just
slipped away. But hey, hold on.
slipped
win.
away. Nah, they were victimized. They were
See what I'm saying?
they got robbed, man.
They had
You saw-
the
They called
18.
911.
We had the one of the toughest, if
They
not the
had it.
toughest, bubble schedule of
Yeah.
all of the teams who were invited. Where's Golden State at? Why don't you hold on to
Yeah,
Golden State like that?
hold on, Chris.
Come
You
Number
on,
also
Golden
two.
did.
State.
It
Come
sound
on,
like
man.
you building. So I'm gonna just throw it in there. There also wasn't any fans since you just building excuses up right
Wow. I'm not
Why you even
building
mentioning
anything.
Golden State though? Why you even mentioning
now.
Golden State?
Exactly.
Like,
Real
why is that even coming
defensive.
up?
We were
I don't
here.
even understand.
Hold on. We were
Hold
here
on.
celebrating the Memphis Grizzlies, and you just got real negative. With
Because you started off, everyone else was like, oh man, 8-0 is great, man. It sucks that they couldn't make it, man. They tried so hard. Oh, 22 season. That was
the
so
Grizzlies had the
honorable.
AC and
Here,
it slipped
here you
away.
go.
Did I
That's the
say something
point.
inaccurate?
No,
They were the
Golden
Because
only
State did
one
a
of
lot.
the
Okay.
three that
Okay.
had the
I'm felt,
position and lost it.
I'm with Chris,
Wow.
man. Because we don't do victim bashing, right? And right now we're bashing the victim. Okay,
We don't bash
the
it. We haven't
Grizzlies.
even said anything yet. We
That's
haven't
what I'm
even
Well, it's
said
like
saying.
anything
The
yet.
Chris
real
feels like you're
All
about
we
to
defensive.
jump
said,
on them.
So I was just going to go ahead and set the stage because I
Okay.
know that there's going to be some potential,
Shout out to Ja. Go
animosity.
ahead, Chris.
Yeah,
Let Chris
shout out to Rookie of the Year, man. Ja Morant,
let
man.
Chris
That's
go.
my guy.
of course,
You
of
know what I'm
course.
Let's let Chris
saying?
He
go.
balling out there.
Also,
I like Ja.
also shout out to Dylan Brooks who showed up big time. So also shout out to Taylor Jenkins. I didn't even know his name for half the season. He's the coach, if y'all didn't know, for bringing the third youngest team to the brink of playoff contention.
Shout
Had
out to
them
Valanciunas.
shout out to Valanciunas, but he's always been doing what he's been doing. He's been doing Giannis things the whole time. Giannis things the whole time. Also, shout out to Jaren Jackson Jr. If it wasn't for him going out with the meniscus tear, we probably would have been in there. But uh,
Shout out to Michael Conley to being on a good team and prospering.
Shout out
I
to
just saw him
Gasol
tonight,
for
man. I haven't
leaving
seen him
them
in
so
a
this is
in
what
while.
I'm talking
championship.
about, man. I'm going
Hey,
to
stop the bashing.
continue to rep
Stop the
this all
Hey,
bashing.
day,
Hey, we
all
repping right
day.
now. Everyone in this
So,
list is people we're shouting out. Yeah,
uh,
everyone in this
okay,
list people we're shouting out. You know what I mean? People went 8-0 here, didn't make it.
yeah.
22 times, didn't make it. And then they had the 8th seed. They were about to make it. And
They
then,
gave it up. They coughed it up. They
see,
coughed it
you
up.
coughed
see,
it up,
They
this is where
just
Kurt time. You see, this is where
cough,
Kurt time
just
comes
saying.
in.
coughed it up.
But Kev, if they had it, and it's not like somebody took it. They just
We
they
had
But
the
someone, no, someone
second.
did take it. Someone did take it. Portland.
they gave it to somebody.
Woo.
They
We
gave it up.
first
They
of
Someone
gave it
did
to
all,
take it.
Portland.
shout out to
Game time.
Portland. Shout out to Portland and Dame Time and Nurkic, man. But they probably won, and also Skinny Mello, my breakout player of the
Top
bubble, by the
15, top
way.
15, top
Top
15.
15. Anyways,
Top 15 player in Portland.
Portland, yeah, definitely.
wow. Okay. But
I
they
can't hit on
came
Melo,
in.
man. Melo's balling. Melo's balling. Respect
Oh
him.
yeah, now y'all want to give him props after I show. Anyways,
We did,
whatever.
we did, we didn't take nothing away from Melo.
So,
You know what I mean?
but
I mean,
Portland
we
did.
we didn't take anything from Melo, but the Lakers might.
Wow. Anyways, Portland was a great
Ouch.
team, man. Like I said, they're the healthiest, and they just came in and they were about their business. They were led by Dame, and Dame really wanted to push for it. He did what he had to do. So it is what it is, man. I'm not mad at it. We'll be back next season, man. We're gonna be fully charged. So
Hey,
Feel the
shout
heat.
out to next season, man.
What's
I'm
that?
excited
What's
to
that
see
thing?
John Morant in a sophomore season. That will be pretty dope.
I mean, he put on 12
What's
pounds of muscle between
did he?
the shutdown and when it started, like the eight
Oh
game.
wow.
Well, yeah, he put in
It's
like
gonna be a
He's
beast next
8 pounds.
training
season,
out there,
man.
man. That's what I like. That's what I like
So
to hear.
he'll be back.
They won't be a doormat anymore. That'd be good, man.
All
Poor
right,
man.
all right, man. Are we
Hey,
done? Can we move on? Can we
we can
move
move
on?
on. I mean, we did touch on Portland a little bit. Dame time. I
Mhm.
want to know if you could, they hit a jump on the next topic and go into Dame time.
How we feel about
But
him?
are we buying? Are we selling? Are we holding? The market watch.
Whew.
Go ahead, Kurt. Time.
I was contemplating. So Dame's like one of the realest people in the NBA. And people always say that Dame holds his own. Even when he had opportunities to go to other teams, super teams, he turned it down. I think Dame's gonna come out and ball. I know he has a dislocated finger. I know before the game, before this recording, Cavalier was talking about when he got that magic shot pop in your shoulder, right? Came
Yep,
back like new. So Dame's getting the treatment he needs, man.
most def.
I want to buy, but I know Zach Collins is injured. I know CJ McCollum. I just found out yesterday he's been playing with like a fractured back. I can't even
Wow.
imagine that, man.
Wow.
So
Wow. Wow. Wow.
yeah, Dame time's gonna be it's a struggle. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold. I'm not selling. I'm not buying. I'm gonna hold.
So you saying you already bought it? You bought in.
Oh yeah, I
He
bought
I
in.
bought,
mean,
yeah, he
Yeah,
bought Dame.
everybody,
Yeah,
everybody has an initial investment in Dame. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, he's just a bust." But
yeah,
it's whether are we buying more? Are we holding on what we got, or are we selling? That's really what the question
yeah.
I'm
Mm,
holding. I'm holding on what I
mm.
got. I'm not gonna go into a long spiel. You know what I mean? I'm just holding right now because I've seen Dame do what he does, and he's always been balling out. And like I said, I just want to see him be a little bit more consistent at going deep into the playoffs and get through these playoff series. And maybe, maybe he just hasn't had the best of luck with who he's been matched up against. But at the end of the day, he's
Mm.
always been balling, in my opinion. So this time out, I guess he may be balling a little bit more, but unless that results in something, I'm holding.
is.
Mm.
I'll go ahead and say before we started talking, I was like, maybe I'm ready to sell. But hearing that other people are also injured and what's going on and what they could do to make, even though we knew it's his left hand, but they could do some things to make it a little bit less of a struggle. I'll say it hold just because with Dame, we know he's great, but there's always something. There's an injury, whether it was even way back when Aldridge was still on the team, there was always injuries plaguing their season, their playoff run. The only time I would only say injury really wasn't the excuse is when they lost to the Warriors in the round right before Western Conference, or it might have been Western Conference. That's the only time it was an injury. We can't really say what happened there, but Dame's always been Dame, so I'll go back to hold. I'm on my position to stay on hold.
So you all y'all going hold?
Yeah, I'm holding.
Yeah, clutch, Chris. I mean, I didn't
Yeah,
expect that. I
yeah.
didn't
All
expect. I
y'all
didn't expect
going
that.
hold?
I didn't expect that though. I didn't
Man,
expect
You
that.
buying? You
y'all,
buying, Chris?
At least me and selling.
I ain't selling
Nah, he not.
definitely.
No, definitely not
Let
selling.
Buying.
can I buy more Dame? I'm
Yes,
buying.
you
I'm
can.
buying. I'm buying
I ain't
all
mad at you.
the
But
Dame.
you're buying more right now. Okay.
I will buy more each year. See, these are very subtle differences or like changes that you probably haven't noticed. Like I've been watching Dame since his rookie season. If y'all don't remember his rookie season, he went to the playoffs the rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
He actually closed. He. I want to say he knocked out Houston with a game winner as a rookie
Three.
3-pointer
Mhm.
off the inbound. He's been carrying this team with or without LaMarcus Aldridge, who's been known to show up or not show up.
And they had
He,
injuries that season too.
and he's always had injuries.
Mm-hmm.
He's with the year that LaMarcus Aldridge left with free agency and went to San Antonio. What did he do? He took the team that we had and he took them all out on a vacation, kind of like a team bonding thing, showing his leadership there, and just saying, "Hey, we're going to gel it together, and we're gonna try to like make this run." And he's always been like that every year. I'm just gonna pull up, and I know I had this thing going around between Steph or Dame because someone said I can't think of who it was. Someone said made a comparison to Steph Curry earlier this week, talking about how he was uh Steph Curry doesn't have Dame range or something like that.
Nah, that sounds wrong.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
the other way
That
around.
Nah,
sounds
so
that
nah.
yeah,
sounds
Not
wrong.
yeah,
not one of us.
yeah.
Steph
No, no, no,
Curry
no. It
got
wasn't us.
Steph Curry got full court range, so I
He
don't
Yeah,
do.
he
know.
do. He got
Yeah,
full. Yeah,
yeah.
it's the whole court. Like
He do.
Yeah.
He do.
You see
Dame
So
is
that
like
top
cross
that.
half
Yeah.
court. You're in Dame range. Dame has got a cross half court. And he's
exactly, he's at the logo.
yeah.
Um, but so it made me think. Okay, let me do some comparisons between Dame Time and Steph, man. So I looked up some stats here, man. 2020. That's this playoff. I'm just looking at playoff information so far. So there's like what 2 games so far with Steph. his usage, 2020 and 2019 is probably about 28%. That's his usage rate. So that's
That's
how
Dame.
that's Dame, right?
Mm,
You can compare that to Steph. Steph's usage rate is just 28%. They're both point guards. They're going to get the ball a lot. They usually
mm.
are critical to the offense and how it plays out. Dame's shooting percentage, true shooting percentage, is 61%. Steph is only 60.3. Now that's not bad, but now we
Steph
just playing on
only
them. Steph, it's just Steph playoffs. I'm just looking at Steph playoffs
the 1%
2019.
different, right?
It's a 1% difference, right?
Yeah,
It's not.
that's
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not only
yeah.
Well,
No,
just say
lots of averages.
I'm just
You could
saying
have made one more
playing on the
shot and
margin.
it'll
Just
light
saying
That's what
up.
I'm
playing on the
saying.
margin.
That's less than
Playing on the margins.
1%, bro.
yeah,
Playing on the
Your game's
margins.
yeah.
sounding real shaky right
I'm
now.
just saying it's
Yeah, yeah.
1% is 1% more.
Less
Same
less
thing.
than
That's
less
Let-
than 1%.
Let's give him that. Let's give him that.
True
Okay.
100%.
You get
1%.
I don't know.
1% more.
I'm saying I still want to see what your point is though when you're
Yeah.
Yeah, so
comparing these two
I'm
guys.
comparing. I'm just
but
comparing this, right?
yeah. The
So
quality of competition though. Steph's been in like championships back to back to back. But go ahead.
yeah,
And
so
you also pointed out that the usage rate was higher for Curry, so that 1%.
no, it's the same.
No,
It's
it's same.
28%. The usage
28%.
rate
Exactly.
is
It's
the usage
28.
usage rate
Oh,
is the same. It's
okay.
28%.
Okay.
The true shooting percentage is 61 versus 60, right? So I'm just comparing this year's to 2019 because we don't really have much that. Well, I could go back to 2019 if you guys want, but it's not much difference. And then again, about averaging, they're about averaging about the same. Right now, obviously, it's 26 points for 2020 playoffs because he had that finger dislocation and he was left out early. So, um, point is, they're very close in ability to score and all that. But one thing that I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. I had to look it up. But Dame has been known to rise to the occasion, especially in the fourth quarters. There was a couple of seasons he wouldn't even take many shots until the fourth quarter, and then I think he was having like back-to-back games where he would, score 20 points in the fourth quarter, and then like the team would win. So what am I really getting at here? I'm getting at the fact that Dame has the same amount of efficiency and effectiveness as Steph Curry. He isn't a defensive liability. And on top of that, he does have the tendency to rise to the occasion and take the shots as necessary when he needs to. Not saying Steph Curry can't do it. I'm just saying I believe that Dame is a little bit better at doing those things. But he has to work with less. He's not as open. He's getting double teamed at half court, right? So he has to learn how to overcome those things
Oh man.
That's Chris.
versus
I feel like you made a big mistake, man.
no
I,
man.
I,
Listen,
I
I
feel
feel
that
like
way
you
too.
made a big mistake because you just talked about taking over in this fourth quarter by Dame, and it just brought me way back to that series when the Blazers were playing the Warriors,
Had a 3-1.
and they went into overtime, and Steph Curry took over overtime and scored 17 points in overtime
that's real
to
cute.
topple
That's really
the
cute. You see,
Blazers.
this is why I don't
Yeah,
like talking. That's why I don't
it's
like
real
putting players
cute.
head to head like this because
Mhm.
these guys are both talented, skilled
Yeah.
players. No one's taking anything away from either of them.
Hmm.
The question is, are we buying or selling or holding on Dame?
Yes.
And
Hmm.
at this point, if we hold it, I know all of us have vested interest in Dame.
Yep.
We just holding right now. I mean, everything
I,
you said is true. Nothing
yep.
you said I would disagree with. Um, with respect to from the time he came in, he was a baller.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's why I'm holding because
Inarguable.
yeah,
Inarguable.
inarguably he was a baller. So now I'm holding because I'm
Hmm.
like I've seen you ball for all these years. Now I
Mm.
want to see you turn
Take it to
that
the
ball
next
in,
level.
take it to the next level. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And
Which
that's
is
all. That's all.
which is great. And the farthest he got was what, the second round, or maybe no, Western Conference Finals. That's when he lost
Hmm?
to the
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 Warriors.
the
Warriors.
Warriors, right?
They were up three
Warriors.
one in that
A
series.
severely hampered Warriors.
Were they up 3-1 in that series before they lost?
I don't think they were
I don't
up.
think that.
No, I
Nah,
don't
They were
think so.
nah,
always
they were
down.
never up.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
Yeah,
always down. But I mean, okay,
Because
like
they
this.
didn't have KD that whole series.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
want to say this one thing, man, because
That's when
Chris was
Clay
like,
came through. Clay Thompson, shout out to Kurt Time. Clay Thompson came through dripping in the third
I just
quarter.
want to,
Yeah, man. I can't
I
I
just want
can't
to say
hit
one
on.
thing. Clutch Chris is comparing. Dame is my man. Dame is the ish, man. But we can't forget like how many MVP awards does Steph Curry get?
I don't know. What
I
one?
don't know,
Is
honestly.
did he get one?
Two.
I don't know.
One.
I'm
two,
not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm
right?
not counting
I want
that.
to say
I don't,
two. I don't
and
know.
his
I'm not counting that.
it's two. It's two. It's unanimous, right? And then I'm looking at the stats, right? I'm looking at these stats. Curry from way downtown during his best year, 15-16. This dude, this dude made 52% of shots between 28 feet and half court when the rest of the league was only shooting 20%.
He should be.
I mean, the dude was just incredible.
Well,
He
some
should
people
be.
like
Huh?
analytics, and they would like you to talk about true shooting percentages.
Look. Whatever you're gonna say about Steph Curry, it's not to take away from Steph Curry. I'm just saying, with the responsibility that Dame has and the leadership that he's showing, he has more on his plate than relatively than Steph Curry. Steph Curry can have a bad night.
I give you that.
Yeah,
Clay
I give you
can,
that.
they can have bad. So I'm just saying,
No
just
argument.
from that standpoint. And so for a
Yeah.
person who has been showing himself to be constantly improving year over year, I'm gonna buy as much as I can. Let me
Hold
just
on,
buy some
hold
more.
on,
But
hold
where's the
on, hold on, hold
improvement
on, hold on,
going
hold
though?
on,
Where's the improvement going though?
hold on, hold on. I want to
When you, I'm trying to see this.
time
You
out, time
trying to
out,
win a
time out,
championship. Go ahead,
time
Field.
out, time out, time out, time out. With what you said, it made me think back to the Warriors when it was just the Splash Brothers and
Mm,
Draymond.
And Harrison
mm.
I
Barnes
think that's a fair comparison to the Blazers team they have. When
You
right
you
talking about that
now.
have,
72 win team?
because you have
You talking about
McCollum,
that 72 win team?
yeah,
All
because you
right,
have McCollum,
that's my name.
right? McCollum's a pretty solid
He
shoot
is a
guard.
very, very good player.
Yeah,
Let's not take
so you
anything away
can
from
compare.
McCollum.
I feel like, and then they have Whiteside too.
Boy, you
I
love
mean,
this white
is
side.
that 72?
Yeah,
No, but I'm saying
he do like Whiteside.
This boy
no, but
love
still,
white
like
side, man.
he's one of the more solid centers in the league right now.
But he's not
In the
offensively
Defensively,
going to
league,
give. Yeah, he's not
I
going to give you
wouldn't
anything
say in
Yeah,
the
but
offensively.
like
league.
compare now. Listen, comparing to Draymond Green, who would you rather have on your team as a
Draymond.
Between
center?
those two, between
Yeah,
Hassan Whiteside,
Draymond.
unfortunately, Draymond.
Yeah. You talking about in today's game?
really.
So
I'll go
check me out.
Whiteside. I'll go
In the
Whiteside.
Thank
nineties,
you,
in the
thank you,
nineties, the early
thank you, Kev
'00s,
RL,
I would
because
have
this not
Whiteside.
even this not
No,
even a
it
fucking
is a
heated situation.
conversation.
Nah,
In the early '00s, Whiteside, yes, but today's game, you need a center that can move. You Draymond can
It
check
depends.
1 through 5. What do you
so
mean? How?
do you
It
think the
depends on your
Blazers
strategy.
would have beat the Lakers if they had Draymond Green instead of Whiteside having the
I don't know
impact he
about. I
had
don't
on
know
the
about.
game?
Hold on. I don't know about beat, but he would have a stronger impact than Hassan Whiteside. I
I'm
would.
looking
Nah,
I
at the
you
would
can't say
definitely
defense.
you
believe
can't say
that.
Taker.
stronger. It's like what kind of impact? Sure,
Well,
Draymond could do
How could you
different
not say
things.
stronger?
He could score. He could move the ball. He could control the ball a little bit
Yes.
better. He could shoot the three if they need to. But
True,
in
mhm.
terms
true.
of having somebody who could make sure that you have somebody protecting the rim, you need that.
I'm a
Okay.
classic.
Even in
I'm a
today's
classic
game,
basketball guy.
even if you want to say, okay, nobody's driving, we don't need somebody to protect the rim, snatching the boards, whatever you want to call it, you need that.
Okay, that's
So
That's the
fine.
I
same
got
reason,
what
Kurt. That's the same reason I would have took Embiid over Simmons because
exactly,
we got Dame time out there as
yeah.
a top point guard. We got Steph still up there in the point guard. We
Mm-hmm.
got name slipping me right now, Doncic.
Doncic,
Mm-hmm.
Luca.
Doncic. Yeah.
Shooting guard, yeah.
So it's like man, there's other positions I can there's other people I can fill in that position at the point guard, but it's hard to find a good big man that can protect the rim and like
Yeah.
be a boss
You
down there,
need that.
I
Shaq,
think they're a
like you
dime a
know what I mean,
dozen,
like
man. So, they're a dime a dozen. Here's why I say why. So
ooh,
Phil that he's
no
talking about,
way,
he's singing the
yeah,
praises of Whiteside. Whiteside's good, but Whiteside is the second. He's come off the bench, man. He's
true.
coming off the bench
That
for
means
the
nothing.
Trailblazers. Hey,
That means
Miami
nothing.
gave him up. Miami gave him up.
That means nothing
They could have
too.
held up to him. Well, how does that not? These are
Portland
two
gave up
NBA
Seth.
teams.
Portland gave up Seth. People give away
Hey,
players all the time. Like
Rockets
But
gave up Clayton
no,
Capella.
but Phil the Heat
Rockets
is
gave
not
up
saying
Clayton
that Seth
Capella.
is like one of the best.
Rockets gave up
Phil the
Clayton
Heat's not
Capella.
saying
they had a
Phil the
direction,
Heat's
he
not
didn't
saying
fit
that.
it.
It's not
Let it
saying
go.
he's saying he's one of the best centers in the league. That's all I'm saying.
I
one
don't
of the
say he's
best
one of
centers
the
in the
best
league.
centers in the
Oh,
league, but
okay.
I love
He
defense.
is.
I'm a defensive minded guy. So if you ask
But
me to
that's
build a team, I'm gonna take the center man
but
that can defend the
I
rim.
feel like we're all saying the same thing. Yes, he is one of the best centers in the league because there's not that many. Because like you
I'm
said,
not saying that.
the league is going in a different direction. You're saying
Correct.
he's not. Whatever the case is,
Bro, he's not in the
centers
top
are
10.
not the centers that we think of. When we think of centers are not
When I think
not
of
what the league is going in direction.
when I
Of.
think of centers, I
No,
don't even think of Hassan Whiteside, to be honest with you.
so name me if
I,
there's
I, I,
top
t- I
10. Who is
typically
that?
don't.
So he's not in the top 10.
I can name you. I can name better centers.
What's
Valanciunas
a
is
center?
He's
better.
not in the top 10.
What's a center supposed to do though? What's a center supposed to do?
So
That's a good question.
Let's go back to fundamentals. What's a center supposed to
That's a
do?
good question.
well,
It's
block,
it
block, protect the
depends.
rim, get some rebounds, and then give you the unexpected offense that you need.
Because Chris, you're right.
Check
It does
guards.
depends. Your system matters.
Well,
Yeah.
also depends on your
Everybody
archetype.
switches.
But
Everybody switches, so you have to be able to stay in front of a guard. Everybody
That's what
switches.
you say. That to me, that's not the case.
That's
That's
depending on
what
your
the
play.
NBA
That's
says.
if you switch though. That's if you switching
Yeah, that's
on
what I'm
stuff.
saying.
You don't have to
Name one
switch
team
though.
that doesn't switch. You have the
Oh,
offense
come
will make you
on.
switch.
If my
Yeah,
center was
Name a
the
team that
greatest
doesn't
at
switch.
You don't
switching,
have to
but
switch
he
on
was,
everything though.
but I knew if somebody was trying to get into the rim and he was there, he was stopping it. I'm taking that. To me personally, if I'm building a team,
You don't have to switch on everything.
How many times has Steph Curry, Dame Lillard made a center look foolish? Have him on the
You're
string.
right.
Heck, tonight,
You're right.
shoot, man, Kimba
yeah,
did that.
yeah.
Yeah.
When he got Joel Embiid on his fourth foul, I saw that.
And that's why you have more than one
and you
center.
got
But exactly.
an Al Harper.
And more than one
But
point guard.
let me ask you a question. But you got Embiid in foul trouble. They're severely hampered, whatever the case. They had to have him and Horford at the same time. But the amount of times that those centers make you alter your shot or make you second guess coming into the paint, do you not think is worth it overall?
I got
I
one
think it's
question.
worth
I
it.
got one statement.
go ahead,
Let me
man.
hear that.
The highest players in the league are what? What position do they play?
They're usually wing players.
Okay, thank you. Wing players. If we're talking about valuation, right? If they're paying wing players the most money, that means the NBA deems that those are the most important players. Centers, Houston has nobody taller than us on their team.
No, they went and got Tyson
Centers are not
Chandler.
important.
They went
No,
and got
but he
Tyson
but he
Chandler.
don't really play though. But he don't really play.
But they went and got him though.
They
That's an
okay.
emergency.
Okay. Robert Parrish was on the
That's all I'm
Chicago's
saying.
championship team. That doesn't mean that he was being used.
Wow.
Let's see,
So
man.
I don't know, man. Great. I do think centers are valuable. They're
They're
actually
not more
the
valuable than wings. I agree with you because there's a lot of tall, athletic skill players.
well.
Because you can even take somebody like Anthony Davis. He's not a center. He's a forward now, right? Like there's a lot of that
He's
going on.
He's
He's a forward. He's a forward.
What's
He's
the
a
dude's
forward.
name? What's the dude name on Cavaliers that LeBron got him like a 90 million? I don't know if it's
Tristan Thompson.
Thompson.
Tristan
Thompson.
Thompson.
They got that dude a $90 million contract. You know why? Why? Was he scoring? Was he a scorer?
He was getting offensive rebounds and offensive
And defending the
rebounds.
rim.
So
Yep.
What about
Okay.
Octavius Pope?
And Mozgov too was already another beast on that team too.
What about a beast that got played off into the bench by the Warriors? What's he at now? He's not in the league. The Lakers dropped
I'm saying
him.
on
Who,
that
Tristan
team.
Thompson?
No, we talking about
Nah,
I said
Mozgov.
Mozgov was a beast on that
Oh.
team.
Like,
First
First
dropped.
of all,
serious.
again, Mozgov wasn't even a top center at the time. Y'all
No, he
forgetting-
wasn't.
All right.
He's
You know
not.
what? Kill the center talk. Centers are
Yeah.
okay. They're
I-
okay.
I
Yeah,
like
they're
need
not
them.
the most
They're
important,
fundamentals.
but they are defensive anchors. They're not the most important person on the
I-
team. by
again-
I think
far.
they're very
I agree with
important.
you guys.
I
You
think they're
guys
very
They're not
only
the most important. They're not the most
Hold on.
important on the team. If we're gonna go there and say what's the most important on the team, I wouldn't say the center is the most important
It's
person.
a team though. It is no one
Yeah.
most important person. I mean, you have an MVP, yeah, but
Yeah.
everyone's required. Like you can't
Yeah.
not have a position, play well, and expect to win a game. Like it's a team defensive effort that needs to happen. If one
Yes.
play is slopping, no, everyone's upset because nothing's gonna be right.
exactly.
So everyone's important, man. But
I mean, I will say that we're focusing on the defense. There are our offensive capabilities that centers have. The whole back to the basket, I know it's a lost art, but there's still a lot of people who do play that.
I love that.
And And again, that is a part of the skill set of centers is to be able to play
Correct.
back to the
I
basket.
don't think it's a lost art. I
Correct.
think it's an unrewarded art. I just think that they're
I don't think
not.
it's lost either. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're not given the same kind of favorability when it comes to ref calls as a guard going in and doing all this shit, right? Or a 3-point
Well,
shooter
yeah,
going
but
throwing his arms up
But
every time he
they
makes a
don't
yeah,
they
shot
don't
but
do it as much now though.
it's based on
because of
Some
that
analytics.
players
reason,
do,
right?
Yeah.
like Embiid does. So Embiid,
Yeah,
he focuses a lot of
Tonight,
play. I mean,
but
in general, his trainer.
yeah,
That's how he trained him, man. Like, yo, I need you to get better at this back towards
but
the
but
goal,
that
man. Like,
but that influences the shots you're gonna take, right?
it does.
Like if
It
you
does.
if you if you're on the same team, you got Clint Capella and you got Harden. Every time Harden goes to the paint, he do one of these things. He's gonna get at least either the basket and an attempt at the free throw, or at least 70% of the times a shot at 2 free throws. You're gonna rather go with Harden than go with a big man trying to do something in the paint.
You see, y'all just homegrown a whole new topic that wasn't even in our agenda. Now we're talking about centers and
Man, talking
guards.
about
You're
how
right. You're right. You're
that
right.
was
You're right.
Reg, man. Reg going off the cuff over
because he
here,
loved him
man.
some Hassan Whiteside, man. Hey man,
No, no, no.
Hassan
It's
Whiteside to open up a fruit smoothie store. It's like,
nah,
bro,
nah.
I
It's
don't.
not just that. When I
Talk
saw, when I
about
saw, when I
Whiteside when they
saw,
dropped
when I
that
first,
week, man.
when I saw those first 2 games, I saw the impact he had.
But my point is that Draymond has a skill set. Hassan
He
Whiteside,
does.
Hassan Whiteside has a skill set. Those
Yes.
those skill sets are not copycats of each other.
No,
So so you have to look at the value, meaning how much can you implement or integrate a person's skill set into whatever the scheme is. I think Draymond's skill set lends himself to be more flexible to different systems and being more valuable as a pick and roll player and as a defensive stopper and as an energy guy and not being fallible like Hassan Whiteside is prone to do.
Mhm.
yeah.
And so like he has some value on the offensive side, defensive side, and it's just like the intangibles, which just kind of like getting under people's skin and getting people activated and things like that.
But
I,
Hassan
w-
Whiteside, not so much.
I would just disagree because I feel like we had this conversation before. I feel like you could take Draymond Green off of the Warriors team and he would not be that great.
I agree with that statement like 250%. That was the only thing I was thinking about when you were talking, Chris. I was like, man,
Yeah,
everything you said is true.
I think
But I
everything you
don't know
said
if you
is
can do
true.
that outside of that
Yeah,
environment. I
Draymond
really
on the
don't know.
Warriors, I don't think you could take Hassan Whiteside and replace him with Draymond and then no, no, no.
All right.
But, and if you were talking about all the 32 teams in the league, I feel like more likely if you took Hassan Whiteside and put them on that team as a center instead of putting Draymond Green as a center, you would see more of an improvement from having Hassan Whiteside.
I don't know
Miami
about that
gave him
statement.
up
That's a
when they
big
did not
statement. That's a
have
big
I
statement.
think so.
Miami gave him up when they did not have a center to replace him with at the time.
They looked at what
They
they had with
just got one.
Adebayo. They
They didn't
looked at what they
have
had
one
with
when they gave him
Adebayo,
up.
and it was good enough. I'm
They
gonna go
didn't
get
have one
Jimmy
when
B.
they
I'm
let
gonna
him
go
let
get
him
Jimmy
go.
buckets. I'm gonna go get Jimmy buckets and make it work.
So who?
Systems and strategies matter. Systems and
But
strategies
if
matter.
they were to take and Adebayo's kind of like in that same grain because he's not as tall as other centers. He's just a little bit more
He can check
scrappier.
guards. He can play
Yeah,
beyond
he's a
guards.
little bit
Yeah.
scrappier.
So
He's more
But
mobile.
I don't think that. I think that's more of the exception and not the rule.
So
I don't
who's-
think you could just take these guys who are not center height, who are not center skill set, and just put them on any team and be like, oh, that's the new wave. I don't think that. I disagree with that.
all right. So who better, Bam Bam or Hassan?
For the Heat,
Miami
Bam
already
Bam.
made that decision.
Yeah, for the Heat, Bam Bam. For a fact. That's a fact.
Dude, for the
It's not even a better.
Bam is a starting center.
But here's the thing though.
Whiteside is coming off the
Why would they
bench.
give up Whiteside, right? Because the
'Cause
value of a center, right? Of a true center is more than they were willing to give from the skill set they needed from. They didn't need that much of a true center. They were willing to go get more of a Adebayo who could do other things. But they could trade him to the Blazers for more money, right? And free up cap space to do something like go get a Jimmy Butler. That's all it is. For a team like the Heat, they're young guns, they're running the ball, they have a whole bunch of great 3-point shooters between Robinson and Hero. Sure, you can go get
Like
Adebayo.
Dame's not a great 3-point shooter and CJ's not a great 3-point shooter. Sounds like What
I
else is
think
different?
what else is different for that team? For the Blazers, I feel like they play a little bit more traditional basketball. They're great 3-point shooters, but I don't think they spread the floor like a Warriors do.
But they don't
No,
they
I'm
don't
talking about
have.
between the Blazers and Miami.
Even then, I think the Blazers are more attack first. They
I don't know
take
that.
great 3-point. I think they take three great 3-point opportunities, but I feel like they're more penetrating. Lillard is way more of a penetrator than Curry was. That's why Draymond works.
Can I just say this though? Hassan Whiteside against the Lakers, he's averaging 22 points, and his field goal percentage is 75%. If you compare his career numbers with Draymond career numbers, Draymond career points is at 9. Hassan Whiteside is at 13.7, and I'm not
What's
Not
even
his?
arguing.
going to.
Hold on, but
I'm not
what's
even
his?
going to. Go
But
ahead.
I'm surprised Kev is saying this because Kev, before we started recording, Chris was talking about we was talking about stocks. Chris was talking about the PE ratio of a company. Who was the
Yes.
first one to say, "Hey, you can't just look at that one
No,
ratio"?
but he
I
brought up
wasn't. I
he brought
wasn't.
up a
Other
couple
analysis.
stat points. He brought up
I,
a couple stat points.
I brought it up because we keep going back and forth, and we making it sound as though like Hassan, like he ain't nothing. So I just wanted to see, wait, this dude is something, because I know the dude wasn't
He's
nothing. So
something.
let me
Yeah.
see what he's doing,
And I
because
started this
I know
off
him.
saying the impact I see in the playoffs against the
Yeah.
Lakers. That's what I said. I'm not just saying out of nowhere, all season he's been great. I am not making any surprise. He's not the greatest offensive player. But
No, I'm surprised he's better than Draymond from a stats perspective. I'm
from a points,
surprised.
well, from points, yes, because number one, I don't know if you're looking at this season, the Golden State
Career, I'm looking at
Warriors.
career and this season. You can
Okay,
look at any.
okay,
I'm
okay,
looking at
okay,
career.
okay. So then, yeah, part of it is because Draymond isn't really a scorer. He's always been a facilitator.
yeah,
So and those stats are probably not going to show up as fairly as like just raw stats versus
if you
you
That's a
know
good point.
between
if
the
I,
two
you
I, I
are
points
take
and
it
blocks.
Draymond
back.
Green and you have the ball and Curry is open, you should not be taking a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
But
If
I
Klay
think that's a
Thompson is
good point.
open, you should not be taking a shot. If Kevin Durant is open, you should not be taking a shot.
You're right. I think that you bring up a good point though, and that's also lends to what Feel the Heat was saying, how he's very good in that system.
Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
know what I
saying. I
mean?
don't think you
So
can
if
just
like,
take Draymond and put him anywhere else and be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be the same stuff. I don't
because
he
think that's
because we
he
just said he's not offensively that
he's not
potent. He's
potent.
more of a
Yes,
facilitator. So
yes,
as a facilitator, you need chemistry. You
yep,
can't just like, oh, I'm gonna jump in. I'm great
yep,
at facilitating. I
yep,
got y'all guys. You need chemistry.
yeah.
So
I agree.
he has that in his hands. He has chemistry. He's good with them boys. Warriors are a good team. I love the Warriors for their chemistry. The way they pass the ball when they're clicking sometimes
yeah,
is like
it's
poetry, man.
crazy.
It's like a dance. It's like
It's
ridiculous.
crazy.
So it's like he's in a good position in a good place, and I think that's why he's staying on that team.
Especially when they added KD to that team, because typically you would see the ball being passed around the ring and then it would just stay out on the outside of the game. When you gave it to KD, he could pull up or he could just go in and just dunk it.
You
It was
can't stop
crazy.
him. You
You
Yeah.
can't
can't
stop
stop him.
KD. You
Hey,
can't stop
No,
him. He
you
does what
Kurt,
he
can't.
Kurt, time. You
wants.
should know. You should know that. That's when you started watching basketball. So,
Shots
um,
fired.
Ah,
so
When I started
anyways,
watching basketball, because I remember we were talking about like first draft picks versus second draft picks. I knew people back in the '80s, man.
oh,
I'm
you
a
did?
basketball kind of. Let's not. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Kev.
okay,
What are
okay.
we moving on to, man?
well,
It's gonna be
hey,
some more action. We're gonna re-up next week. Any other last words?
comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification
Mm.
bell.
Follow
Get it.
Grindhouse NTWK, Grindhouse Network on Instagram and on Twitter. So look us up. All right,
All right.
and with that, man, I'll let y'all go, man. Peace.
Oops.
Peace.